Stop scrolling. This message isn't for everyone. It's for you. There is a reason you paused here, a reason your attention stopped at this exact moment, and a reason these words are reaching you right now. You may not fully understand it yet, but something inside you already feels it. You have been sensing a shift, feeling a quiet pull, noticing small moments where your thoughts became deeper than usual. That is not sluchai. That is not random. And that is not something to ignore. This is a moment of connection, a moment where you are being called to listen, not with distraction, but with awareness. You have been moving through your days, handling responsibilities, dealing with situations, and trying to keep everything together. But somewhere inside you, there has been a feeling that something more is happening, something you cannot fully explain. Through Jesus Christ, you are shown that moments like this do not happen without purpose. They come when you are ready to hear something you haven't been paying attention to before. You have been asking questions, even if you did not say them out loud. You have been wondering about your direction, about your purpose, about why certain things have happened the way they did. And even when you tried to move forward without thinking too much about it, those thoughts kept returning. That is because they are not meant to be ignored. You are not here by accident. You are here because something is trying to reach you, something that has been waiting for you to pause, to stop, and to listen. You have gone through moments that tested your patience, moments that made you question yourself, and moments where you felt like you were trying your best, but not seeing the results you expected. There were times when you felt misunderstood, times when you felt like no one truly saw what you were going through, and times when you felt like you had to carry everything on your own. But even in those moments, you kept going. You kept moving forward, even when it was difficult, even when it felt slow, and even when you were not sure where it was leading you. That strength you showed was not unnoticed. That effort you put in was not wasted. And that patience you held on to was not without purpose. You were being prepared, even when it felt like nothing was changing. You were being shaped, even when it felt like everything was staying the same. And now you're reaching a point where things begin to make more sense. Not all at once, not in a sudden way, but in a way that starts to feel clearer with each step you take. You are not the same person you were before. Your awareness has grown, your understanding has deepened, and your ability to see things more clearly has improved. That is why this moment matters, because you are now in a place where you can receive what you were not ready for before. There is something you have been overlooking, not because you wanted to ignore it, but because you have been focused on everything else. Life has been busy, your mind has been occupied, and your attention has been pulled in many different directions. But now you are being asked to slow down and notice what has been right in front of you. You are being asked to pay attention to the thoughts that keep coming back, the feelings that you cannot easily dismiss, and the moments where you feel like something is trying to guide you. This is not about making you feel overwhelmed, and it is not about making you question everything. This is about helping you become aware of what is already within you. You have been given signs, not in obvious ways, but in small, subtle moments that you may have overlooked. A thought that stayed longer than usual, a feeling that felt stronger than expected, a moment where you paused and felt something deeper than you could explain. These are not sluchai. These are moments of awareness, moments where you are being guided to see something differently. And the more you begin to notice them, the more you will start to understand what they mean. You are not being asked to change everything at once. You are not being expected to suddenly have all the answers. What you are being asked to do is simple but powerful. Pay attention. Notice what you have been ignoring. Allow yourself to feel what you have been pushing aside, and take small steps in the direction that feels right, even if you are not completely sure where it will lead. You do not need to have everything figured out. You only need to be willing to listen, because when you begin to listen, things begin to change. Not because everything around you suddenly becomes different, but because your understanding becomes clearer. You start to see things from a different perspective. You start to make decisions with more awareness. And you start to move forward with more confidence, even if the path is not fully visible yet. This is how change begins, not with a sudden shift, but with a quiet realization that leads to a different way of thinking and moving. There is also something else you need to understand. You are not alone in this moment. You may feel like you are figuring things out on your own, but there is guidance in your journey. There is direction in your path, even when it feels uncertain. You have been supported in ways you may not have noticed, protected in situations you did not fully understand, and guided away from things that were not meant for you. What felt like rejection was often protection. What felt like delay was often alignment. And what felt like confusion was often preparation for something clearer. You may not have seen it at the time, but as you look back, you will begin to realize that certain things happened exactly the way they needed to. Not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. You were being led, even when it did not feel like it. And now, you are being brought to a point where you can begin to understand that more clearly. As you continue forward, you will start to notice changes, not always big or dramatic, but meaningful. Your thoughts will feel more focused, your decisions will feel more intentional, and your direction will feel more aligned with what truly matters to you. You will begin to let go of things that no longer serve you, not because you are forced to, but because you understand that they do not belong in your life anymore. You will begin to move differently, not because you have to, but because it feels natural. And you will begin to trust yourself more, not because everything is certain, but because you have learned to listen to what feels right for you. This is not the end of your journey. This is the beginning of a new way of moving through it. So do not ignore this moment. Do not brush it aside as something unimportant. This is your moment to pause, to listen, and to become aware of what is already happening within you. You do not need to rush. You do not need to force anything. You only need to stay present and allow yourself to understand what you are being shown. Because once you begin to see it clearly, everything else will start to follow. And when it does, you will realize that this moment, right here, was the moment everything began to change.